Pleiadian Master Teachings, Light Forces Transmissions, April 12, 2021. Channeled by Michael Love. Prelude, a special Pleiadian teaching message to the starseeds of New Earth, for immediate planetary broadcast. Begin transmission. Great One. Down through the ages, the Pleiadians have brought vast amounts of knowledge to Earth, assisting humanity in their evolution. All great wisdom and teachings written into the ancient spiritual books, ultimately originated with the Pleiadians. Tonight we present the primary Pleiadian master teachings, which are both profound but simple teachings, designed to activate your DNA to a higher level. These master teachings serve as divine guidelines for improving life in every way. You may be aware of some of the teachings here, however there may be one or more that stand out, and these will address a specific thing you are seeking guidance about. The ones that stand out will be your DNA triggers. Take inventory as you hear each teaching and do the inner work and ritual each day, to be able to integrate these ways of being into your life. If you do, we promise life will become amazing and every moment will be a grand experience for you. Each teaching is listed under a specific topic below, and the sayings are written in common language, so they can be integrated easily. Let's start with time and space. The primary premise of time-space is, the only time that exists in the universe is now, and the only space that exists is here. Now and here is the only reality. A good way to remember this is to put the words together, now here, or nowhere. Many attempt to exist in the past or the future with their consciousness. We tell you that if you attempt to exist in either of these non-times or non-realities, you will become fragmented and lose vital life force. The correct spiritual practice to master time-space is to bring all of your consciousness awareness into the here space, and the now time. This is called presence or being present, and this is where the magic of life occurs. When you become present, your consciousness levels are greatly elevated. The main premise to remember here is this: a thing can only exist in the now time, and in the here space. This brings us to the topic of existence. The first principle of existence is, consciousness is the primary existence. The second principle of existence is, you are this consciousness. The third principle of existence is, there is only one consciousness in the universe. The fourth principle of existence is, consciousness is the only reality. All other perceived existence besides your consciousness is a holographic projection of, and depends solely on your consciousness. The fifth principle of existence is, everything physical in the universe pre-exists in potential energy or wave form only. Quantum physics is the prime Pleiadian science that best describes how this 3D holographic projection, or materialization process works. When consciousness is applied, the potential waveform is collapsed and projected into holographic physical matter. Physical holographic existence can be things, people, places, even a certain set of circumstances. The process of collapsing a waveform happens in what is called zero time or real time, so it is absolutely instantaneous. This is only half the story, however, because the sixth principle of existence states, for something to exist in the physical realm, it must be both observed by consciousness, and also by a physical observance system. Measuring and detecting this material existence also causes it to exist physically. The system of consciousness is used to manifest an existence, and the physical sensing system is used to detect that existence. Both types of observance are required for existence in the third dimension of matter. Using these premises of existence, here is a bit of very real quantum strangeness for you. The person in the next room is only energetically there because you are conscious they are there. Only when you walk into the next room physically and observe them, are you causing them to exist in the 3D matrix. Across town or across the world works the same way. You can be conscious of other places, but they literally do not exist physically until you are both conscious of them and are sensing them with your physical senses. The closer you align your being in consciousness and physical senses with an existence, the more real it becomes. So what about time travel and interdimensional travel? We just said there is no past or future, so how can you travel to these non-times? The one true time-space, now and here, must be warped in an illusory way. However, other perceived times are still now and all other spaces are still here, just resonating at different frequency levels or dimensions. Both time and multidimensional space travel are achieved by modulating the frequency of time-space, and projecting it holographically. Though this can be done with a machine, it is done naturally by consciousness. When the frequency of your consciousness changes, the outwardly perceived time and/or space changes. This perception of being in other places or times is only a physical illusion. You are still always ultimately in the now moment and the here space. This is how you get to heaven, by the way. Heaven is not a faraway place but a much nicer version of right here and right now. You attain this differently perceived time and space change by changing the frequency of your consciousness. Pleiadian Master Teaching on Manifesting. Great One. You certainly understand that you manifest your perceived reality by virtue of your vibrational resonance. You know, of course, that one manifests their perceived reality by default, whether they are conscious or unconscious of the process. You understand that in this universe, like attracts like, 100% of the time. Frequencies that resonate at the same level are attracted towards each other. You are most likely aware that the main action part of the manifestation process is this. Simply by observing a thing, causes it to exist as perceived reality composed of matter or material. This is the basic tenet of quantum physics. In simple terms, you create what you see. In another way we could say, what you look at, exists. This is the way the universe works and is the premise for all of manifested reality. Ask yourself, what do you see every day in your world? We ask you, what if you saw only beautiful and wonderful things? Seeing is a broad word that also means, to focus on, to detect, to give energy to think about, and to apply feeling or energy to. When you apply strong emotion to anything, you give it incredible power to exist in the material world. Emotion is the jet fuel of creation. Keep in mind that anything you give energy to, manifests in the physical world. In esoteric terms, observing or seeing can also mean, to align with, energetically, or become one with a thing. As we said in our teaching about existence, the more you align with a thing energetically, the more real it becomes. The primary way to manifest a desire is to saturate your being with it in every way possible, and it has no choice but to manifest into your world. Now let's move on to love. The first principle of love is the inherent, primary nature of the universe. The second principle of love is the highest vibrational and most powerful energy in the universe. The third principle of love is, you are this love. Pleiadian teachings about love. The ancient books of earth say that God is love, and they also say, the highest teaching in the universe is, to love God with all your heart, mind and soul first, then love others the same. You may wonder, who exactly is this God that you are supposed to be so in love with? Let us use a few other teachings to make this more clear. We said earlier that there is only one consciousness in this universe, and this one consciousness is not separate from you, higher than you, or a different being than you. This is the primary premise for all correct spiritual teachings. If you do not start with this premise, you will surely end up lost along the way. The Master Pleiadian teacher said these true words, I am God. If that was all he said, then we can see how he might have had a God complex. Right after he made this astounding claim to humanity, he also said, have I not said that you are all this same thing as well? Here is the correct teaching about who God is. Every being in the universe is God's source. Every being in the universe is an emanation of the same one consciousness that exists. Every saint is God, and every sinner is also the same God. God is all that exists. It is the sum of all energy in the universe, as Einstein equated consciousness as all that exists. Consciousness equals God, it's the same exact thing, with different labels. All things in the universe are God manifested. All beings are God manifested, as each being. There is nothing that is not God. It is impossible for a thing not to be this. A devil can work hard to not be God, but it is impossible for it to be anything other than this. I am God. You are God. She is God, and he is also this same God. There is not God and a devil fighting a battle of good and evil, as this would imply there are two gods. What's worse, if there is a good God and a bad one, that implies that the bad guy might just win in the end. We tell you the truth, it is not so. What is called God is the whole of the universe, and trying to place something outside of that whole produces error. We say in humor, you are God, so get over it. This leads to the fourth principle of love, which is, realize and be who and what you truly are. All spiritual adepts come to this grand awareness and reality when they become mature. The primary realization you are coming to now, in the evolution of your very soul, is to simply realize who and what you truly are. This is the ultimate wake-up and aha moment in your ascension. After you realize this true identity, the goal is then to simply start being this. If one asks, how can I start being as grand as God? First ask, how would God or a highly evolved divine being be? Maybe that being would be more loving, more understanding, more helpful, more truthful, and more honorable than most. Just something for us all to think about. So back to the great Pleiadian directive and teaching that says, love God with all your heart, mind and soul first, then love all others the same. In this action, everything is fulfilled. The grand being that you are supposed to be in love with first, is yourself, great one. We certainly do not mean in an ego or arrogant way, but in a natural, healthy, and self-respecting way. Love is an all-encompassing thing that covers much more than just a relationship, it covers all of life. Notice the great commandment says, love God yourself first, then, God others secondly at the same level of love. It doesn't say, put everyone else first, then put yourself last. It is very important to understand why and how this works. First of all, you cannot be of any effective loving service to others until you have first filled your own being up with a reserve of love. In time you will be in great service to all of humanity, but only after you have fully mastered the law of love. Secondly, by universal law, you cannot receive a thing that you have not first given to yourself. You cannot receive love in any way until you first take time out, be by yourself and begin showing yourself the highest levels of unconditional love. We promise if you will do the inner work to accomplish this, the greatest love in the world will be directly attracted to you and will appear right in front of you, in a magical way. It will be the deepest and most profound level of love you have ever experienced, from another being. The reason you must take some time out and just be alone is so you will get to know yourself, in a much closer way. Many are fearful of this step, however, after a time, and when the feeling of self-love begins to permeate your being, you will experience the most wonderful and freeing feeling in the world. Do not try to have a relationship while doing this sacred self-work and keep all of the focus on you. Just know that true love from others will come later, as your grand prize. If you achieve a high level of self-love and healthy self-respect first, as the teaching says, the universe has to send you the same thing from another being. That's just the way it works. The universe will surprise you and not let you down, so have some faith. That one that comes to you out of nowhere will be incredibly beautiful and attractive, and will indeed be the twin flame that is taught about. You will feel a level of love for that being that will permeate your very soul. It's important to remember that this twin flame is also a reflective mirror for you, so he or she will show you a true reflection of your being. Sometimes we do not like what we see in this mirror, but be aware of what is really happening here. There may just be a few more areas in our life where we can still show ourselves higher levels of self-love, and the twin flame helps us become aware of those areas. When this deep love comes, it's important not to take all the focus off of yourself and put it onto them. This results in a critical error that can cause you to have to start over again, in the self-love process. Here is the prime Pleiadian directive in the area of relationships and focus. Always keep your focus on you. Do not keep the main focus on the other person or too much on any external thing. The simple reason for this is, vital life force energy and manifestation follows focus and observation. The fastest way to uncreate a loving relationship is to place all the focus on the other being. If you think back, this is where we stop being ourselves just to please the other being, and as soon as we do this, the love energy starts dissipating and things start to unmanifest themselves in that relationship. Sure, you want to focus on the other and focus on time together, just do not stop loving yourself the way you were before the relationship manifested. That level of self-love is the only thing that attracted the relationship to begin with. So how are some ways to show yourself higher levels of healthy self-love? Many of the other teachings revolve around this, and here is the best place to start. The first premise of beginning this incredible journey to love is to start right now being 100% true to yourself. A primary Pleiadian master teaching about love is this: Do not try to please others, for this is a futile attempt that leads only to misery. The second part of this teaching is, stop taking everyone's advice and commandments for your life. Stop living the life someone else wants for you. Stop it in its tracks, dear one, and start creating the life you desire. It's your life and only your business, and it is not their business, in any way. We will address this more in the sovereignty teaching below. For now, the rule is, always be loving to those that want to control your life, however say, no thank you, I am going to do things my way. You will realize quickly that those that are truly loving towards you will support you and not condemn you. The first thing to do on your journey to love is decide to make some serious changes in your life. Sit down in your sacred quiet space and begin to write it all down. Ask yourself these questions and create a plan with the answers. What would you do different if you could live the kind of life you really want? What spiritual things would you be doing? What kind of fulfilling and creative work would you be doing? The correct teaching here is, always and only, do what you love. Do not do what you do not love. We do realize at first, one may have to do a few things just to get to the next step, and this is okay for a short time as long as you keep the end goal in mind. What would you do for fun if you could do things your way? What kind of people would you want around you? It's important to know what you do not want, just for reference when beginning to show yourself higher levels of love. Doing the necessary inner work to clear out all energies that no longer resonate with you is also an important part of this journey towards love. Let us speak about unity and oneness, or one mind and one accord. As Pleiadian metaphysics teach, every being in the universe is the same being, manifested as each individual. Of course, we are all entangled at the energetic level, and we are truly all one being. Furthermore, we are also entangled with all matter in the universe the same way. It is critical on the spiritual path to realize the other person, all nature and all things are just you, manifested in another form. When one fully realizes this from a heart level of knowing, they begin treating all beings and things with the same love and respect they have for themselves. Pleiadian Master teaching about sovereignty. As we said, you are the highest being in the entire universe, and this is the ultimate realization you will come to. There is no other being anywhere who is your authority or who can manipulate or control you without your permission. The entire universe operates under contracts and laws, and there is a built-in remedy in this universe that prevents any being from controlling or manipulating your energy without your permission. The remedy is simply to decree that you do not consent to any energy manipulation, and it has to stop by universal law. If you do not believe this, try it. Every being who is controlled or manipulated by another is giving permission at some level for this to occur. The ways one agrees to these contracts is very subtle and unconscious on most levels. The most obvious way to say yes to a contract is by not saying no. Just say no in the most peaceful and honorable way you can, and those energies will move out of your space by universal law. Sometimes it takes a moment, but they have to go as they have no choice. At first it may seem crazy or impossible, but as soon as you set a firm boundary, very real universal forces enter in to make sure you have relief and remedy, and you will see things unfold quickly in your favor. To be sovereign is to be honorable, responsible, and to never do harm in any way. Be of good and noble character, keep your word, and always make things right. Pleiadian teaching on health. The only healing that can occur is natural healing. This involves being in nature and in natural healthy environments, ingesting nature energy foods, and living in healthy natural ways. The layered human body system is an amazing creation that comes with a perfected healing program that is designed to heal itself in a natural way. A Pleiadian story that will heal you, from the Essene Gospel of Peace. Some beings came to the bank of the river and asked the Master, "How can we be healed? For we are the most ill people on the earth." He then said to them, "You cannot know the Father until you first know the Mother." "Who is the Mother?" they asked. The Master said, "The Mother is Gaia, the natural healing earth, that sustains your very being. You are to eat only from her table from this day forward, and you shall be healed." Then the Master said, "You cannot know the Mother until you know her angels." "Who are these angels of the Mother?" they asked. And he said, "The angels of Gaia are 4 in number, and they are the angel of the sun, the angel of the air, the angel of the water, and the angel of the clay. They asked then, "But how shall we be healed, Master?" Then he said to them, "Spend 7 days with the angel of the sun, 7 days with the angel of the air, 7 days with the angel of the water, and 7 days with the angel of the clay. Then you shall be healed." Very powerful, energetic healing forces are transferred from nature to the layered human body system when one is intimately close to the earth and her elemental angels. It's also important to say, after being immersed in natural earth energies during the day, 90% of the healing process takes place afterwards, during REM sleep. Be in nature, live natural and healthy, make some peaceful space, get some REM sleep, and be healed. Pleiadian Master teaching about frequency and vibration. The prime directive about frequency and vibration is this: always vibrate high. This is the goal of all life. Here are the things that will raise your vibration, faster than ever. As the law of love decrees, only do what you love, for this is the whole of the law. Meditation. When you meditate, go inside the divine temple and meet this grand God being that we speak of. Even more so, make the goal of meditation to find out the true identity of this magnificent being. When you know this by experience, you will truly be in awe. Listen to harmonic music and tones and you will know the foundation of the universe. Be artistic and create, for this is your primary nature. Activate the divine energy of the body with dance, yoga and Tai Chi. Practice deep breath work. As we said, be in nature as much as possible. Nature not only heals, it greatly increases consciousness levels. Keep crystals near your auric field, preferably monatomic single light refractive crystal amplifiers. Ingest only natural energy foods to develop your light body. Gain sacred ancient knowledge about many subjects to expand consciousness levels. Lastly, just have fun in life every day. We like to say, the whole purpose of life is to have fun, and we can't think of anything greater to tell you than those words. Enjoy every now moment of life to the fullest. Live and love with every ounce of your being, for there is no other purpose. You came to Earth to have this experience, so are you having the experience you truly desire? If not now, when would be a good time to start? Doing things you enjoy and that make you feel good, causes every particle in every cell of your being to spin faster than the speed of light. This is the ascension we speak of in the way to the higher, lighter realms of light. Great one. To gain powerful benefit from these teachings, go back and listen again, pause and take written notes as you hear the teachings. When your written notes are complete, put the teachings into action each day and you will be astounded at the profound positive changes that begin to occur in your life. This is our personal gift of love to you, and to the whole world. Thank you for the spiritual work you are doing and for coming to Earth to assist at this time. Do your inner work each day to integrate the teachings we have presented here, and you will soon find yourself walking in divine realms, where the archangels dwell. Feel free to share something you have learned along the way on your personal spiritual journey. Divine blessings and Godspeed. Michael and the Pleiadians. Special credit and acknowledgement to the Earth Alliance. 5dearthproject.com